Hey guys, it's August here, and welcome to a discussion video talking about Nintendo's new YouTube policy. This is something I think we should talk about just because it is pretty important, and I feel like it's pretty bad as well. And I'll explain why during the video. If you guys will leave your impressions below, go ahead. And yeah, let's get started. So for a while now, I've been under the impression that the YouTube gaming community has been in a pretty good place. Content creators like me can make videos of our favorite games, the fans like watching them, and the companies get a bunch of free advertising, which is always a good thing for them because they get to sell more copies. However, in every community, there's always that one guy, you know, the guy who I don't know, orders salad in the meat buffet. Yes, that's the analogy I'm going with. And of course, in our community, that guy is Nintendo. For a long time now, Nintendo's policies online have been very strange to me. If I had to guess why, it's probably because the difference in culture, them being like a Japanese-centered company. But it's always been really weird just because they treat their fans like less than other companies treat their fans, if that makes sense. For example, for a very long time, YouTube would just content claim any Mario video, like no matter what it was. For example, my Mario Kart 8 video, which is like 30 seconds of footage, has a content claim on it. My really old Super Mario World, back from when I was a silent channel, has a content claim on it. So yeah, it is kind of weird. But I feel like Nintendo was always able to get away with it, just because there was always that small doubt that maybe it was the YouTube content system doing it. Now the system is pretty bad, I will admit, but a few days ago with the Angry Joe thing, as well as, you know, Nintendo's new policy, it's kinda come to light that this is all them. And I honestly think this policy is a pretty bad thing for everyone in the community. So, why is this? First of all, there are two things to keep in mind. Number one, no other company does this. Sony doesn't, Microsoft doesn't, and all those indie developers don't do it either. There are the odd company that do it, like for example Sega's been kind of bad, and there's also the occasional indie company that does it, although that's more for like censoring any bad criticisms about their games. Like I think we all remember Day 1 Gary Shitty incident. But out of the major, like big companies, Nintendo is the only one to do it. And maybe it is just a difference in cultures, but I think a lot of developers just understand the benefits of being on YouTube. I mean, these companies have a limited amount of advertising money, and having like fans hype the game up for you is a really good thing. Also, indie developers love YouTube. Like how many times does Turtle Biscuit review a game, and it becomes a top seller on Steam? Like having a big YouTuber say good things about your game is a great way for a developer to get ahead. So now we come to the second point. A lot of these big channels on YouTube actually have YouTube as their career. They earn money from advertising revenue and donations, people enjoy watching their content, and companies like all the free advertising they're getting. It all kind of balances out in the end and really helps everyone out. Then Nintendo comes along with this new policy. Up until now, they've just been claiming videos and taking all the advertising revenue from them, but now there's a brand new solution to help all those YouTubers out. You still gotta give Nintendo money, but you'll get some of it back yourself. The idea is that you can apply either whole channels to individual videos, and you'll earn some revenue from them. The videos is 60-40 your way, and the channels is 70-30 your way. However, this policy isn't all what it seems. They don't mention all the other people taking money out first. So like YouTube and PayPal and money conversion fees if you're outside the US. And also, the fact that Nintendo can just change around the rates whenever they want. So eventually it might become like 50-50 or like 60-40 Nintendo's way. And yeah, it's not really great. So with all this in mind, why would a person on YouTube trying to make a career play Nintendo games? They have all these other companies that are fine with them making their content. They don't have to go through contracts, they don't have to give money to the company. They can just make their videos and be done with it. However, for Nintendo games, you have to do all this other stuff first. And you just don't have the stability that you do with other companies because Nintendo can change rates around whenever they want. Also, keep in mind the fact that all these big YouTubers are the ones with the most subscribers and the most views. So when they stop making Nintendo content and make like Sony and Microsoft content, all the things on the recommendation page and the front page of YouTube will be the most popular things, which is the content these guys are doing, which will no longer be Nintendo content. And out of those all, the worst one is definitely reviewers, just because according to the program, Nintendo can take up to 3 days to accept your video, which means you have to have it out 3 days before the embargo, which means you're playing the game less and you can give a less informed opinion to the viewers and stuff, and yeah, it's not too good. Sure, there will be some small channels making it, but as I mentioned, the way YouTube works, the most popular videos show up the most. And of course, with less Nintendo videos on YouTube, it means less viewers to watch them. Nintendo loses a whole bunch of free advertising on the games, which right now is probably not what they want considering the Wii U hasn't been doing that good. They finally made strides last year with Mario Kart 8 and like Super Smash Bros and stuff, being able to upload your replays to YouTube. But of course, they do this shit and it makes them look really bad compared to everyone else in the industry. And yeah, I think these policies are really dumb and basically screw over everybody involved. Like, for those people who defend Nintendo in this situation, you just have to ask yourself, how come no other company does this? Because they realize the benefits. They realize that being helpful to the consumer is a really good thing because it helps them sell more copies of their games. Like, you know, companies want to make money. Being kind of positive to your community is one way to do that. One thing I should say though, to be fair, I haven't had a look at the list of games that will be applying to this. I'm assuming it's mainly Mario games like Mario Kart and golf and tennis and party and stuff. But when will it eventually become like Kirby games and Metroid games and like Pokemon games in particular? If this ever happens to the Pokemon community, I think there is going to be a massive shitstorm because people will be really pissed about that. And so yeah, I'd recommend staying away from this program. Every person who accepts is basically someone going, yes, I agree with this Nintendo, it's fine. Either focus on third-party games on Nintendo systems, or like do videos by a different company for a while. Either way, just try and keep on going like you have and just stay away from this program, because it's pretty bad for everybody involved. So that's the end of this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble, and I'll see you guys next time.